Hey guys, welcome back to another video with infosecpat. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the stapler VM from VulnHub. So we're going to pretty much do a VulnHub walkthrough again, like we've been doing in this playlist. It's pretty much for like an OSCP prep list. That's what I'm pretty much using. I'm using a list from the internet that preps you for the OSCP. I'm just going down the VMs from VulnHub, doing some walkthroughs and helping you guys out if you have any questions. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about this box right here, stapler 1. I already have it prepped in my VM, in my virtual box. Like I said, this is always for educational purposes only. If you're prepping for certification, if you just want to learn cybersecurity, and just learn these tactics as we go, right? Just check it out. So, oh yeah, please like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And hopefully you guys are being safe out there with this crazy coronavirus, but let's get into it. So, we have our VM here, okay? So, let me show you guys. I have my, like I always show. Whoops. Let's get out of here. And then let me bring this over here. And this is my stapler VM that we have on the same. So it says red login. So I'm assuming that is the host name. I have no idea. I do have an idea because I already did this box, but I don't have an idea because it's been a few. All right. So I want to minimize that. So pretty much all the videos and all these boxes are pretty much the same thing, right? We'd have to, if you don't know the IP address, we have to run an ARP scan, we have to run an Nmap, we have to see what services are running, and see what we can use with those services to our advantage to try to root the box, okay? So let's go ahead and minimize this for now. And let's go here. All right, so if we do an LS, I did a Nmap scan already. I already know my IP, but let's just do an ARP scan really quick. And my IP address is 29, right here, 172.16.1.29. Okay, let's clear that out. Let's go ahead and concatenate stapler 1. So we can look here and we can see all of our services. And this is the command I ran against my IP address to an aggressive scan. I put the output, a service scan, and a default vulnerability scan. Okay. So if you see here, we have port 20 FTP-data is closed, 21 is open. So we can use probably some of these tactics to our advantage, right? 22, 53, DNS. So if we do dig, probably we can find some DNS stuff. Port 80, port 129. This is interesting to me. I'm going to probably use this as well. But let's keep going, okay? And Doom, which is on port 666, okay? We can just keep going down. We have MySQL, which is on the default port of 3306, okay? Keep going down. Let's see. We have, it's running Linux, Red, OS, Linux, CPE. We can just go down here and look. All right, this is all the information from our Nmap scan. Okay, so the way I did this box, if I remember, it's been a while, but I did use the Samba vulnerability. I actually compromised it using this. So we're going to go through this process, right? I want to show you how I rooted this box. Everyone, I think if we go back here, if we go down, you can download it right here. And if we look at the description, I forgot to go over this. There's multiple ways. It's at least 2 paths to get the limited shell, and then 3 ways to get root access. So I'm guessing my way is one of the ways, and this is the way I did it. Everyone has their way of rooting the box, but let's go ahead and continue. So I found this, right? So I want to copy this, open up Cherry Tree for my notes. This is a new one, stapler 1 notes. Okay, and then let's do a subnote. We're going to do Nmap. And I'm just going to paste this in because this is what I'm going to be using. Obviously, you can paste the whole Nmap scan. I just want to use this for now. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back here and let's clear this out. So if you guys aren't familiar with the Samba share, it's pretty much you can see network shares, you can see printer shares, you can see all that good stuff. So what I want to do is I want to run enum Linux, enum for Linux, okay? And then what are we going to do now? We're going to enumerate for 172.16.1. What was it? 2029. Okay, we're going to go out and see all this craziness, right? This is a lot of stuff. We'll give this a minute to run, and then we'll go over everything that we found. Okay, let that go through its thing. And that's why I have multiple tabs open here. Let's actually go to VulnHub and then Stapler, ls. Okay, I want to get to the users in a second. I put that in here from when I last did it. All right, so now we have our scan finished. We can copy this whole scan, but let's just go all the way up to the top, and then we're going to go diagnose, or go over this, not diagnose. All right, so we have the target information. We have our IP address. We have the RID range, right? Username, password is nothing. So for the known users, administrator guest, etc., domain admin, blah, blah, blah. Same, pretty much what we have here. Looking up status, we have red, blah, blah, blah. This is pretty much our status for this box. It's all active, as you can see. It does a session check, okay? That allows sessions using username, password, and go on and so forth. You can read all this. The OS information, like I said, it's red, blah, blah, blah. There's print, there's Kathy, there's temp. So there's a bunch of little things here. So remember, we have temp here, so we can use that later to put some files into it, okay? So let's go all the way down. So what is interesting to me here, we have these built-in users, and then if we keep going down, we have the Unix users. So what I did, obviously, I didn't want to do this because it takes a lot of time. What I did is I copied all of this and I put it into a text file. So if we see, if I do ls, if I cat users dot, these are the same users that we have here. To Peter to Ellie. See that? And then we have Peter all the way to Ellie, okay? So that's what I pretty much did. I made a copy of all the users that I found, okay? So the next thing we can do is try to, let's go back to our cat, staple, and then I just want to grep really quick. I want to grep SSH, right? So we know SSH is open in our scan, right? So what we can do is utilize, let's cat the users again. We can use this user file to see if we can pretty much brute force into and find the username and password for SSH, okay? So that's what I want to do now. So I want to use Hydra. And then if you're not familiar with Hydra, I want to do dash capital L. And then I'm going to do users, right? It's not user, it's users .txt, okay? And then I'm going to do -5. And if you aren't familiar with these commands, what you can do is, I'll show you in a second. So I'm going to do an I think it's NSR, and I'll show you that in a second. And now I'm going to do 17, and now IP address, 172.16.1.29. And then we're going to do a service SSH, okay? And if you're not familiar with that, let's go to another one. Let's do man, MAN, Hydra, and then we can grep E. All right, let's do, oh, I forgot to grep. I'm an idiot. Sorry. E. Okay, so if we do here, additional checks for null passwords. The S is for try logon password, and the R is for reverse logon as pass. Okay? As we see here, we have a username and password that we found. This is good news. We'll let this do its thing, and once we have that, we can go and try to SSH using these credentials. Okay, let's actually try that right now. Let's just copy this. Let's go ahead and clear this out. SSH and paste at 172.16.1.29. Okay, so right, the password was the same thing. So I'm going to paste that, enter. All right, so it looks like we're in this box. Let's make this bigger. So it looks like we're in this box now, right? So we do an ID really quick. We can see that we're in this box as this user, and we can, see pretty much who am I, same thing, PWD, LS. We can see that we're in this box now, right? Let's see if we can clear. Okay, so now since we're in this box, what is the next thing, right? What do we have to do now? So now what we have to do is find out what, let's go back here really quick, and let's do, for an example, uname, right? Let's do uname is Linux, and you could do uname R, and then you can do uname L for all, okay? So what I did, that's why I have the page up, I just looked out onto the internet to see if there's any privilege escalation on this target, right? So I just pretty much copied the 4.0-21-generic, and I just pretty much copied and pasted, look for exploits on DB exploit.db, right? So I found this guy here. Okay, it's a privilege escalation. So you can look through this exploit, right? So you can go all the way down to the bottom. Let's make this bigger because I'm blind. You may not see it because my big head might be in the bottom, but you can see here we have a zip file, right? So we can pretty much copy this and open. We can either open it or this is the way I did it. I copied and then paste, enter, and then I saved it. I believe I still have it saved. Do I? No. Okay, I don't. Perfect. So let's go ahead and save it. And that's going to go to my downloads folder. And as we can see here, it's right here. Okay. Let's see if we can. All right. So now we have that downloaded. We can go back here. Not there. I'm actually looking about doing this Rick and Morty. A friend of mine was telling me about this box, so that might be next on the agenda. But let's get through this one first. All right. So now we have the exploit that we're going to use on this box to escalate our permissions to root, right? So how do we do that, right? How can we do that? So from our local machine, let's clear this out. We can actually go to our downloads, right, and pretty much get that. Let's do ls. Let's do cc ls. Let's do cc. You know what? Let's just do cd. Let's see cd. All right, let's do ls really quick. All right, so now we are in our downloads. Or you can just go here, you can right click, open in terminal, open as root, and no, not that. Open in terminal here. All right, let's make that bigger because I can't see that. Let's do sudo su, get into our, so now we can see it here, right? So what we need to do, we can actually let's go ahead and unzip this really quick. Let's do this. Unzip files here, okay, here, and we have these exploit. So let's go ahead and extract this exploit here, and we have it here, and here it goes, okay? So what we have to do now is copy this up to our victim machine, the stapler machine, okay? So now what we can do is just open this in terminal so I don't have to remember that path and make this bigger. And let's do sudo, my fancy password. Okay, so let's do ls. Now we have this here, okay? So now what we can do is, let's go ahead and, actually I want to CD, I want to actually upload the whole shebang. Okay, let's just CD one more. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to take this whole directory, okay? So I want to use secure copy, okay? And I want to do -r, so everything in 39772, all right? So I don't remember the username. This is why taking notes is good. Let's minimize this. Let's go, we don't need this one right now. And let's go to the username somewhere. Let's go here. Let's just go. Did I put it somewhere? Thought I did. Oh man. Oh, here it is. Okay, let's copy this username. Minimize this. Okay, let's paste this. And then we're going to do at 172.16.1.29, okay? And then I want to put it in the temp. Remember there was a temp directory on there that we saw when we did the scan, okay? And then it should ask us for the password. We can put the password, and now it should have uploaded those files, okay? So now let's go ahead and go back to our, not there, where's my, this is where I have in all these screens. Where is it? Here, okay? Cool deal. So now we can do an ls. We can do cd temp. There should be a temp. cd/tmp. There we go. Okay, so now we have that folder up on our server, okay? So now what do? Right, what can we do? So we can just go ahead and cd to ls, cd to 33 ls, and then this is the exploit here, ebls. So now we have some files in here, okay? So what we need to do now is we have this it's a shell file. So we can just do compile, and we can compile that file, right? So now what's the next thing we need to do? We just uploaded the file to our server. Now we just compiled it. Now all we have to do, we see a double output, right? Double put. So let's do double put. Okay. And now this is going to try to see if we can escalate that permissions. We'll give this a moment. Let's give it a second. This is probably gonna take a few seconds, all right? So let's give that a moment. And yeah, so let's see what else we have going on here. All right, let's give this a second. All right, we have root privilege now, okay? So let's see, who am I? I am root. So if I do ls, if I do cd to root, cd root ls, we have this flag.txt. Okay, let's cat that out. And it says congratulations. So we have pwned this box. We owned the stapler machine. Okay, so that's pretty much it. That was not a hard machine. That's how I rooted it. If you guys have a different way, if you guys went a different route, let me know. Hit me up in the comments. Hit me up on Instagram or whatever platform you guys know me on. And I'm really excited to hear the way you pwned this machine. And like I said, maybe the ridiculous one from Rick and Morty I might be doing next. But until next time, guys, really like, subscribe, hit me up. I really like to interact with you guys. I really appreciate all the support and love. Until next time, thank you.